Everybody, here you're looking at Windows Media Center on the Dell Inspiron 1525. You know, it's a Windows 7 style Windows Media Center. Yeah. But if we go into settings, I'll show you guys something here. About Windows Media Center. Well, look at there, Windows 10. This is actually the Windows 8 Media Center. It was included in an earlier build of Windows 10, and I believe this build was actually ported out of one of the later tech preview builds, or insider preview builds of Windows 10. It was installed using a method that you can actually easily look up on Google as of right now. Just a couple of easy to install files and a system reboot, and there you go. Now let's go and talk about this. If you run a Google search Windows Media Center Windows 10, you'll see lots of articles about this this way, and theoretically on paper it looks like it's it looks awesome. Hey, you get Windows 10, but you also have it with Windows Media Center. But it's not perfect. It is definitely not perfect. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Let's go ahead and head over to the Mid-Tower Deluxe and look at some things. So yeah, for those who did not know, I have put Windows 10 back on the Mid-Tower Deluxe. Just going to minimize all the stuff on my desktop here. So there we go. There's your desktop. Let's open up Media Center. Yep, Windows Media Center. But there's some things that do not work. I'm going to start talking about those. Basically, this is actually an update install. It went from Windows 7 to Windows 10. It's not a clean install. Now, basically, when I first run this file that you can get offline, it was acting really weird, so I ran the uninstaller, which cleared a lot of settings out. And then once I ran the installer again, Media Center opened up as if it was fresh out of the box. The settings are fresh and that kind of stuff. But basically, if you go to set up your TV on this, you're going to encounter an error where it cannot download any sort of guide data whatsoever, or TV setup data. As you can see, no data whatsoever. Nothing. Nada. Nothing at all. So let's go into settings and let's see if we can manually push an update. You notice the option get latest guide listings is like missing. The only option you have is really to there's no option there really to download the latest guide. Normally in this area you could actually manually push an update for the program guide. That's not the only issue. Now I did manage to get the Seaton Infinite TV to work with this. For those who don't know, we have a Seaton Infinite TV 6. It's installed in a different machine. It's installed in the Black Macs in the inner room. And all those Seaton claims up and down that you cannot do such a thing with the Infinite TV 6 with Windows 8. This is the Windows 8 Media Center. You can. It required did lots of searching around online and used an old installer from like 2011, which included drivers and also the Network Tuners wizard and things like that. Even once I installed that package, the Network Tuners wizard did show up, but it was not installing the tuner at all. So I went online and downloaded the latest Windows 8 drivers and just did a update install, which kept the Network Tuners wizard in place but updated the drivers to the latest. And now I can add tuners from the seating just fine. So you think that okay, the guide's not working, but you're able to access your tuner, right? You should be good. You should be all set. Well, that's not necessarily the case. Remember, this is digital cable. So let's go ahead and try to play TV. Let's go to the guide, which we have no guide data for. Let's do CBS and see what happens. It's a local channel. Okay, we get this for some reason, but if I swap displays, it kicks on. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to the guide, which does not exist. Let's try to access another channel, such as, I don't know, this one here. We get this error here. Activation required. Yes, with digital cable setups with Windows Media Center, which, by the way, for those of you who love to post comments about Kodi and XBMC and all these free alternatives, Windows Media Center is the only program on the PC that can play back digital cable. By the way, all those other ones are useless because, especially with like Time Warner cable, every channel besides the locals is copy flagged as one copy. Any channel that's like that, you have to have HDCP compliance and cable lab certification in the software and stuff like that to actually do the thing. So this is what you're seeing here: is any channel that is scrambled. Windows Media Center requires activation. Now, normally when you set up your digital cable setup on your Windows Media Center, basically I can set up the digital cable advisor and run it, and it does say it's compatible, and it says update system settings, and that updates is fine. But I was never given, well, actually, no, better yet, when I went to set up the seat cable card tuner as going to the TV signal setup, it basically said activation error, cannot activate using the product key provided with Windows Media Center. Now, generally, for those who don't know, the product key is you don't have to change it, and it's not the same product key that's used to activate Windows. But since this Windows Media Center apparently is like slipstreamed in Unofficial, it can't activate. No activation, no premium channels. And we don't even know yet if we can get Windows Play Ready to work. Now, if we go into, go into Control Panel and go to Programs and Features, let's look for Microsoft Play Ready. Now, usually it would be its own thing in here, and I do not see it. So basically, if you attempt to play back a recorded show, which here we go, recorded TV, have a ton of stuff here, and it's all useless now. We get this error: copying prohibited. That's because all these channels are copy flagged by Time Warner Cable, and even though this machine does have the appropriate play ready keys, as the hardware ID does match, it will not play back any channel that's copy flagged. Now, one thing I can try, I guess I'll do this on video. Let's see, let's navigate to wherever that file is at. I'm going to attempt to install Play Ready on this, and it says remove. So apparently it's already there, which I do have a backup of my Play Ready keys in case I do need them. Let's close Media Center for the time being. Yeah, let's just reinstall Play Ready and see what happens. So as you guys can see, although technically, yeah, you can put Media Center into Windows 10, is the most important feature of Windows Media Center to date ever going to work? Apparently not. The most important feature of Media Center is not necessarily playing back, TV. It's playing back digital cable TV. That's the one thing Media Center has that nothing else out there on the PC doesn't actually have. So let's just go ahead and run this setup again. Reinstall Play Ready. See what happens. And I'm going to go ahead and navigate to the mspr.hts key. It's in the program data folder. And it's still there. That's the one file that is the key to your copy flagged recordings. So let's attempt to play back a TV show again. Same error. And as I've read online, this is common. This is a common problem with the so-called Windows Media Center and Windows 10. It's just not going to work. But I'm going to try something else here on video. I'm going to attempt to see if we can get this to work on the Inspiron 1525. Now, I won't be able to play back anything that's on copy flag because the Inspiron 1525 does not have an HDCP compliant graphics controller. In that case, we should get a display driver error, not an activation error. And it's something I'm curious to see, and I figured I was going to do it on video. Let's go ahead and restart Media Center and deassign this tuner that's being in use. This is an old version of network tuners as well. Amazingly, it does actually work with the Infinity V6. And it just keeps checking them all. Don't need it to do that, otherwise it'll knock the other computers off. Yes, there's 3 machines that share this Seton tuner. And it's not going to start up by itself. Let's go ahead and start it. Okay, now let's go and head over to the Dell. So at this point we'll go ahead and install the latest drivers for the Seton tuner, leaving the existing ones in because they had the network tuners app built into Media Center. Gotta have that. It'll be this setup package here, which, by the way, this is what I was talking about earlier. See, it's this little package of files that supposedly gets Media Center back into Windows 10. I wish it was that simple, but apparently it is not. So let's go and run these files. It's this one here. As you can see, they don't have Network Tuners Wizard in there, but it's already on the machine. This is exactly how I did on the Meteor Deluxe. Install. You're going to need to restart the machine as well, more than likely. So, as I mentioned already, this on the Inspiron 1525 is a clean install of Windows 10. And I may do a quick discussion in another video on how to clean install, but I'll mention it right quick as well. If you want to clean install Windows 10, if you're doing the free upgrade thing, basically you have to do the upgrade first, let it activate on its own, and then download an ISO for Windows 10 from Microsoft's site, and it's just simply install. No need to worry about a product key. Anytime I ask you for a product key, just select skip, and then once your computer's online, it contacts Microsoft's activation server. And because what happens is when you do the upgrade to Windows 10, your activation is basically Microsoft gets, footprint of your hardware, just like activation always has been. Except you don't need a product key. Now, if you do, let's say if you roll back to Windows 7 after the upgrade and then decide to do the clean install, it will not work. It will install, but you won't be able to activate. You could probably contact Microsoft, but I don't know for sure. Now, something I find interesting is how Windows 10 seems to reopen some apps, some programs. And apparently sometimes it forgets to connect to your Wi-Fi. Doesn't do it very often, but it does it sometimes. Anyways, let's go and set up Media Center. This angle so you can see the entire screen. Now on this I had to bypass Digital Cable Advisor. There's ways you can do it. I don't recommend it because obviously if it fails for a reason. So here's Network Tuners. Let's go ahead and go in. Let's set this up. And it's saying about, Sound Advisory because I'm over Wi-Fi. Be careful here. I have to unselect every one except for Tuner 6. Tuners 1 through 5 are being used by other machines. The reason why they're not selected already is because I had cleared the tuner configuration a while back, but the other machines are still using Tuners 1 through 5. So only use Tuner 6 and we'll select next. And then we'll attempt to set up live TV, and you'll see the errors I was talking about. More than likely we will see them, because I don't think it's related to whether your install is fresh or not. So it's going to go into TV set up your TV signal. Okay, I'm going to attempt to get the guide data. Look here, Windows Media Center for Windows 8. Agree to the terms, and it's going to. We haven't even installed PlayReady yet, so we agree to those as well. Let's see if PlayReady even works. Okay, PlayReady does seem to work, but when you attempt to download TV setup data, the download fails. It says the new TV setup data cannot be downloaded. The existing data, if available, will be used as you continue through TV signal setup. Now it tells you the downloadable guide is not available. And this is where you cannot get a program guide. It does, and it has improperly detected my tuner as well. It's not supposed to be 6 tuners, it's supposed to be just 1. Let's get out of here. Backtrack through all this. But you can sort of get an idea of what's happening here. It's exactly the same thing that happened on the Meteor Lux. And it's funny, it's like you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you just can't get there. So perhaps if you don't care about a program guide and you do not have digital cable service, which is pretty much, it's either over the air antenna or your digital cable subscription nowadays. If you don't use digital cable, then you may be able to watch TV on your Windows Media Center in Windows 10, but as the way it looks right now, it's a no-go. I find it suspicious how it's restarting this quickly. Usually it takes longer. Part of the problem is, if it wasn't for all these other issues, Seaton doesn't officially support network tuners on Windows 8, even though it works fine. Let's agree to these terms again. And it's going to fail, of course. Yep, failure. Select next. And it keeps saying 6 tuners. So let's do manual setup and see what happens. It will deselect all these tuners except for the ones I'm actually using, which is only tuner 6. Activation failure. Remember, I was telling you guys about that? Activation failure. You can try again, but it will fail. And this is a product key that's commonly used. I know this is, I'm not sure if it's related to your cable provider or whatnot, but this is the product key that's commonly used to activate digital cable in Windows Media Center, and it just outright fails. And I think the reason for this is because this is not an official. I'd say the backbone of Windows Media Center is not it's not totally there. Particularly like the licensing for Windows Media Center to play back digital cable. So I'm just going to go ahead and cancel out all of this. So basically, that is what you get if you try to run Windows Media Center and Windows 10 as of to date. Yeah. You could see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you just couldn't quite get to the end of the tunnel due to these issues. It's like saying we're so close, but you're just not 100% there. So let's go ahead and get rid of the Media Center. Choose uninstall. Actually, I need to run this as a man. Yep, it's very unfortunate, I must say. Let's go ahead and restart the machine. So guys, I guess it's official to say Windows 10 is the version of Windows that officially has killed the digital cable home theater PC. And it's funny, for so many years the Mid-Tower Deluxe has been able to play back TV. Ever since 2008, to be honest with you guys, 7 years, the Mid-Tower Deluxe has always had this functionality to watch and record live TV. And for the past about 2 years, well, since 2013, that's how long I've been doing digital cable on Windows Media Center. For the past 2 years, these machines have been able to do, be able to play back live digital cable, protected cable TV, even movie channels. I have a 12-month, free complimentary subscription to the movie channel and Showtime. I can even play back Showtime, the movie channel, and record movies on those channels. Or I could have. Not anymore. Because Windows 10, there's no Windows Media Center. Yeah, let me show you guys something here. Because it's on this machine. Let's go to all apps. Just go down to W. Windows DVD player. This is their replacement. This is what Microsoft thinks most Media Center users use. This shows how far off their Microsoft is from their actual user base. It's an epic fail. I mean, insert a DVD. Seriously? That's not what I use Windows Media Center for. Where's the options here for live TV? Where's the guide? Where's all these options at? I mean, think about it. Let's open Media Center. We go from this. We go from this to this. Isn't that an epic fail? So, here's the thing that you guys have been wondering. For sure that I'm not giving up on Windows Media Center. And as unfortunate as the Mid-Tower Deluxe cannot run it because of Windows 10. And yes, I do plan to keep Windows 10 on here because besides, the Windows Media Center, and besides the privacy issues which I have fixed, out of the box, Windows 10 is, could care less about your privacy. Give all your information to Microsoft, basically. But if you go into settings and you disable all that stuff, you're okay. Windows 10 overall, besides, a couple of issues, like I can't have AllZip installed and be able to use Jump List. For example, I have AllZip installed right now and I can't access. I can click on Jump List and nothing happens. Nothing. So that's one little issue. I fixed the issue with the start menu. Got rid of all the unnecessary tiles that I never would use, and made a nice organized set of tiles for documents, files, control panel, some commonly used programs, and things like that. Overall, Windows 10 seems to run very snappy, and a lot of my software seems to run more stable on Windows 10 than it did with Windows 7, such as the Windows Vista Moonmaker. In Windows 7, I had issues with the Vista Moonmaker, crashing and things like that. Not in Windows 10. It runs really well in Windows 10. That's one of the issues I had with Windows 7 for all the years that I've used it. Back in the days of Windows Vista, there were some programs that ran just fine, but I had issues with them in Windows 7. Move on to Windows 10, those programs are working fine again. So basically, my plans, which you don't see all the stuff, you may notice how I cleaned out this whole area back here. There used to be boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff. Now the speaker's sitting where those boxes used to be. I had plans to put a TV box in here. I plan to make it one of those low power machines like the TV Box Slim. Plan to set it right in this area somewhere with a 22-inch monitor to have Windows Media Center on a TV. So yes, we're basically going back to 2007. Yeah, let me show you an image from 2007. Back when TV used to be had to be a separate thing in this room. From 2008 to 2015, the computer could take care of it. But with Windows 10, they say home theater PCs are useless. Let's not have Windows Media Center on Windows 10. So now we're going to go back to 2007 and have a separate machine or separate TV from the computer. Isn't that wonderful? Thanks a lot, Microsoft. I really appreciate it. So considering the fact that you may consider Windows 10 was a free upgrade, but really this upgrade is going to set me back about $200 to get Windows Media Center back in here. I'll be quite honest with you. To get Windows Media Center back in here, it's going to set me back about $200. Isn't that wonderful? So anyways, for those of you who've been wondering about all these articles online about Windows Media Center and Windows 10, there you go. You can launch it. You can launch it, but you can forget about recording, digital cable TV or having a set-top, having a guide and things like that. So, according to Microsoft, Media Center users just use Windows. We just use Windows Media Center to play DVDs. So they give us this, and I think they actually charge $15 for this piece of crap app. Seriously, VLC can do this for free. So yeah, yep. At least you guys were able to see the truth about Windows Media Center and Windows 10, why it cannot actually work. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Any questions or comments? Feel free to ask them. Thanks for watching.